And a lot of these people aren't decreasing the prices because they don't need to sell. So we're back to the Scottsdale Phoenix real estate market. In today's video, we're going to give you a market update on Scottsdale. We've done quite a few transactions recently in Scottsdale, and we're going to give you an idea of what we're seeing for discounts. We're going to go look at the MLS data, see what the absorption rate of the homes is right now, and we're going to go and look at some other data closer to the end of the video. So the one thing about Scottsdale, it's not a big market. It is a luxury market for the most part. The homes have gone way up in value. But when we look at this map, you can see that it's pretty evenly spread out throughout Scottsdale. Scottsdale is more north-south than it is east-west. It's not very wide. You can see down here is Old Town Scottsdale and South Scottsdale. Now we're going to consider South Scottsdale, zip code 85257. Those are normally the least expensive homes in Scottsdale. But if you go up into the Rio Verde area, a little bit to the northeast, where the land is cheaper, you have to truck in your water, you can find some new construction up there for cheap. But if you live up there, you're not going to find a lot of places to eat, buy groceries and other things. It's really remote living. So we're going to break the video up a little today. We're going to go down into 85257, which is far South Scottsdale down here. We'll go into 85251, which is Old Town Scottsdale, where the Fashion Square Mall is. And then we're going to go up into the McCormick Ranch area, which is 85258. And then we'll come up here into North Scottsdale, which is real popular around the Troon area, which is 85262. Now, first thing I want to talk about is the overall market stats. Right now in Scottsdale, we currently have 1,626 single-family homes on the market. We like to look at what's pending each month, and then we look at what's closed in the last 30 days. So when we look at what's pending right now, we have 358 homes currently under contract. Most of those homes will close within 30 to 45 days of going under contract. Then we take a look at what's currently sold in Scottsdale in the last 30 days, and it's 339 homes. So the absorption rate in Scottsdale right now is not great. It's only 20%. Only 20% of the homes that are on the market are selling right now. That's probably one of the worst ratios we've had in quite some time. Now, when you look at last month, what's pending compared to what's closed in the last 30 days, you can see that the market is slightly closed less last month than it has pending right now. So the market's kind of pretty much going sideways. There's maybe a little bit of an advantage right now because a few more homes are closing this month. If we jump over and take a look at the 30-year fixed mortgage rates, you can see that right now, you can see how the rates have gone up and down. The lowest point was back here, was down around 6.5%. Now these are averages, but right now we're kind of right in between 6.75 and 7. You can see on June 16th, it was showing 6.91. Now some people right now are going to be able to get mortgages closer down to 6.5%, but this is a big factor. A lot of people continue to tell me that everything in their neighborhood sells for cash, and those days have changed. When we were at the boom time of the market back in the pandemic and things, yeah, more people were paying cash. But in general, in a lot of Scottsdale neighborhoods, at best, it was 50%, 50-50. 50% were getting financing, 50% were paying cash. Now let's take a look at this data by Altos, and this is 85257. This is the furthest south zip code in Scottsdale, and it butts up against Tempe. You can see right here the median list price for the homes is $686,000. The median price of new listings is $770,000. Price per square foot is $408 per foot. Average days on the market is 77. That's up substantially from where we've been. We've been under 50 days for quite a while, but this particular zip code is 77, and you can see on the little chart here how it's slightly rising up. Median days on the market is 56. Price decreases, 67% of all listings have had price decreases, and I'll tell you right now, if they haven't had a price decrease, they need to, because they're not going to sell their home if they don't on many of these properties. Relisted, 3%, that's not a big number. Inventory, it's showing 116 homes on the market. We could double check that. Median rent, you can see median rents at $3,100, and that's dropping. Now median rent is skewed a little bit too based on the size of the home. In general, I would say in this zip code, it's probably a little closer to 25 to 2,700 per month. Now it's saying it's a slight seller's advantage. I'm not seeing that in my data and in my recent sales. So now we're going to go into the heart of Old Town Scottsdale. It's where the Fashion Square Mall is located. It's zip code 85251. You can see the price is quite a bit higher than it was in 85257. The average median list price is $849,000. You can see that's been dropping. Back here on March 7th of 2025, it was $999, and now we're down at $849. That's a big drop. Median price of new listings is $824,500. Price per square foot is $472. And when we look back at 85257, which is just south of it, it was at 408. Average days on market is around 72. Median days on market is around 49. Price decreases 49% of all listings. Price increases 0. Relisted 5%. So more homes have been relisted in this zip code than in the other. The one thing that's unique about 85251, that's our largest concentration of Airbnbs in Scottsdale. This is where all the bars and restaurants are. This is where the real action is, so to speak. So for a lot of people coming into town that are here to party, which a lot of these residents don't like, this is where these Airbnbs are located, and we're seeing a lot of Airbnbs being liquidated and have been for the last couple years. You can see the median rent is at $3,348, and the market action, it still says it's a slight seller's advantage. You look at the chart right here. In general, there's just a lot more competition for the homes, so you're going to have more of a buyer's market, even though this says otherwise. Now we're going to go up a little further north into a very popular area. It's called McCormick Ranch. You also have Gainey Ranch. This is more central Scottsdale, south of the 101 Loop, actually south of Shea Boulevard. You can see the big jump up in the price. The average median price is $1,300,000. Median price of new listings is $1,650,000. Price per square foot, $538. Again, compared to South Scottsdale at $402 and Old Town at $478. Average days on the market is 71. That's pretty similar. Median days on the market, 56. Price decreases 62%. Price increases 1%. Sometimes people take them off the market, put them back on at a higher price, or they do remodeling and put them back on. The inventory showing at 119 homes. The median rent, look at how much that jumped up. And we're talking about just a few miles north of Old Town, $5,900. And this is not a big area either. This is still saying it's a slight seller's advantage, but we're not seeing that. We just closed a home in McCormick Ranch. We gave 5% off the listing price, and we also had another one that was closer to 10% off on a multi-million-dollar property. Next, we're going to head up into North Scottsdale, up into the Troon area, 85262. That's this area right up in here. Now, we were just down here in McCormick Ranch, and now we're up into North Scottsdale. You can see the prices again higher. Now, the further you go north in Scottsdale in general, the homes are a little bit newer construction. They're on bigger lots, and a lot of them have bigger square footages. Some of them are gated. More of them are gated, guard gated, golf course communities, and a lot of other stuff. The median list price up in that area is $2,392,000. The median price of the new listings is $2,000,000. The price per square foot is $590. Average days on market is 169. So you can see it's substantially longer up there. Now, a lot of these homes up in North Scottsdale are going to be seasonal, meaning a lot of people take their homes off the market. They leave, they'll put them back on when the cooler weather is here. Once it's over 100 degrees here, a lot of people that don't have to be here, they don't want to be here. Median days on the market is 119. Price decreases 38%. So you can see that there's been less price decreases up in this area, and a lot of these people aren't decreasing the prices because they don't need to sell. You're going to see more activity in McCormick Ranch in 85258 and down in Old Town Scottsdale 85251, where young professionals and people tend to come and go quicker or more often. A lot of people in North Scottsdale have lived in their home and kept it as a second home for a long time and don't plan to sell. Price decreases 1%, relisted 6%, median rent 6,000, and market action it says at 28. So it's showing that it's a slight buyer's advantage. I can just tell you from these charts, when it says it's a slight buyer's advantage, it's really a strong buyer's advantage. I don't know how they figure these things out, but it's definitely not what we're seeing in the market. We're seeing more and more people reduce their prices. We're seeing more and more people getting credits back when they do the inspections and stuff. So you don't always see it in the price right away, but ultimately people are getting more money back. So that's what we're seeing in the Scottsdale market. Again, we're seeing an increase in inventory. Even though Scottsdale doesn't have a ton of inventory, it's a small city, and you are seeing price decreases. We're seeing credits back during the closings, inspections. A lot of people don't want to do any of the repairs on these properties. It's hard to get a contractor right now, and if people want to do remodeling to the home, some of them don't care. They'd rather have a credit back. As far as loan buy downs or rate buy downs with people, a lot of people are still doing rate buy downs, but it's going to be in the lower price properties in general. The people that come in and are looking at a $2 million home are not as likely to ask for a buy down for their rates. Most likely they're going to ask for a price reduction or repairs. Thanks for watching today. Take a look at some of our other videos on Phoenix. And if you want anything specific in Scottsdale, Phoenix, or any neighborhood, just reach out to us. Our contact information is in the description below the video, and we'll help you out.